Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. So in my group, this is what we did. The first thing we did was that we merged all of the statements of account to have one consolidated statement of account. Now, I'm presenting what we did. So, so then the service category, we used a calculated column to fetch the service category based on this for recurrent and non-recurrent. The first thing we did was that we corrected the column for recurrent. We wanted it to appear like the ideal spelling for recurrent. So for this, for the subscriptions that come under recurrent and recurrent, we tag them under internet service. Then the others, we tag them under other transactions. Then we wrote a complex if statement to fetch all the products. And this is just an overview of what the statement is. The statement checks every entry in the consolidated SOA and checks for this date bracket. Then it checks for both when the channel is direct and when the channel is indirect. Then it now checks for when the subscription time is recurrent. For the recurrent, it checks for this amount. Then it is meant to return this product. Then it checks for non-recurrent. It checks this for every of them, for direct, for indirect. Then checks for the other. There are three age brackets in them, so it does this for all of them. So with this, we're able to get the products. We're able to get this product. Then the percentage share. Now, let me say that in the service sheet we got, we have three age brackets: this, and this. And if we see that between this and this, September is omitted, which means we're not meant to factor September. However, when we consolidated, we saw that there are September in the sheet. So in what we did in our group, we wrote an if statement not to factor that September. So it is only meant to see when transaction is in between the dates that are in that service. That is why we have something like this first. Yes, so we wrote to get the percentage share for ABC, and we did the same for share Azyten. Then for the revenue, we also followed the same suit, ensuring that the date bracket in the service is followed. Yes. Now, let's not also forget that it is only internet service that we shared using the share percentages. We shared that between Azyten and ABC. Now, the one for that, so if you come and say it is only internet service that is shared between them. However, for the additional charges went strictly to Azyten. So then we now had an extra column where we called Azyten additional charges. So when the service category is not equal to this, then amount. Yes, so that is what we did. Then we now got something like this. We returned it back to pivot table. So with pivot table, we're able to answer the questions that were asked. We're able to answer all of the questions that were asked and got all of these kind of feedbacks. All right, so this is the methodologies we took. What were the challenges we had? Okay, the challenges we had was that, first, having to put together the formulas for the calculated columns were a bit of a challenge. However, when we watched the video, it gave a clue and we're able to follow through it. Then we also had a challenge of incorrect channel inputs. For instance, when you go through all of the statements of account, I pick statements of account 2022, for instance, you realize that now, for some of them, by default, are highlighted yellow. This ones, if you check your own, it is indirect. All of these are indirect. Vet this particular entry, you realize that the corresponding is not in indirect, it is actually indirect. Now, if you follow through the process, you realize that you're going to be seeing some anomalies, and we discovered incorrect data entry. So for some of them, we were able to track them, and we're able to isolate them, and we're able to make corrections on the respective statements of account. So when it's now refreshed and corrected in the other one. Then the other thing we had, I earlier said, was the dates thing. We wanted our calculation to be strictly within these time frames that we were given. So having September in between creates a bias, which we're not told to factor in, because this is what we're told to factor in. So we didn't just, for our calculated columns, we're not interested in just writing a formula that will work. We wanted a formula that will factor in the respective dates. Yeah, so so we have to put in something like this, and it works. So a whole lot was learned in the course of this project. For this project, everything around the calculation was done in Power Query. So the knowledge of writing calculated columns and a whole lot was learned. And also when we got to pivot table, we also learned about calculated field. Yes, because for profit margin, we needed to calculate calculated field. For total revenue, we created a calculated field to be able to get them. So yeah, that was actually lessons that were learned. And this is all we're able to put together in our group. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
So I wanted to ask, right? So you said that you omitted some some calculations due to a mistake. So out of curiosity, what it means is that at the end of the day, your summary report most likely in terms of the amount will not give you a cumulative as the total amount that was sent into that particular account. Is that
No,
correct?
it will still give. What I said is that now the task given to us had time frames. 2022 to August 2023, then October 2023 to April 2024, then April 2024 to date. But when we appended all the statement of account, we realized that there were entries for September 2023. So what I said was that while we're carrying out this project, we factored that September 2023 was not part of what we're meant to capture because of this, these time frames. So what I'm saying is that we isolated that September 2023 entries. That is what I actually said that we did.
So explain what you meant by isolated. You did not put
Okay.
it as part of your calculation? Is that what you said?
Okay, this is what I meant. Like in calculating the revenue, this was what we said. If the transaction is greater than this, at 2022 January 1, and the transaction is less than or equals to 2023 August 31st, or if the transaction is greater than or equals to 2023 October 1, and the transaction is less than or equals to 2024 March 31st. Yes, this is what I actually meant by, we factored it. This is what I actually meant by that, sir.
Okay, so where's your summary report?
Okay,
Go
this
to your
is it.
summary report. Quickly, let's see.
Yeah, so this is our summary report, analysis, consolidated SOA. These are summary reports, sir.
Okay, so you have what's the total grand total?
Okay, let me.
Just highlight it. Highlight it, it will see it.
Okay, I'm coming.
So 51 million or 48.
I'm coming. Revenue.
That's the 51 million. I can see it there.
Yeah, then plus this one without sharing, plus this, yes. Yes, this is the
So
grand total. 51 million plus 3.4 million, sir.
okay, that's additional charges without
Yes, yes,
okay,
sir.
good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to review it. Who's the next person? Jacinta. Good morning. How are you? How's your day? Thank you very much, Mr. Okay. You can stop sharing your screen now. Although I gave you 5 minutes and you used about 9. So Jacinta, we are waiting for you. You can share your screen and go ahead and briefly in 5 minutes show us what you did, what's the methodology, the tools you use, what were the experience you got out of it, the challenges.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Actually,
morning.
I'll not share my screen. I don't know if I can present without sharing my screen.
If you can present without sharing your screen, that is fine. However, um, you know you are supposed to share your screen. This is not your first time of attending this, right?
Actually, this is my first time of attending it. And I didn't know I was supposed to share my screen. So I'm actually using like a tab to do this meeting. So I'm sorry, I was supposed to share my screen to do the presentation.
Aside group 8 and 9, who doesn't know that they were supposed to share their screen? I think even Adenike, the reason why I even know I was asking her that you are going to share a screen today, right? Was because the last time she did presentation for her group, she didn't share a screen. Is that not? Mrs. Adenike?
Yes, that's it.
Good. So, but we are listening. If you can do it without sharing, that's fine. You have 5 minutes. This is 11:36. We can hear you.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Today, we started by analyzing the statement of accounts. The statement of accounts which recorded all financial transactions related to the business. So our focus was to identify the transaction for the satellite internet service and categorize them based on service plan and pricing and revenue sharing. So for the statement of accounts, each transaction was checked to determine like the satellite internet service and the service plans, which falls under unlimited 50, unlimited 100, and so on. So the application based on October 2023 and 2024 revision, for every transaction, we added columns for like service type, the revenue sharing percentage for Azyten shares and ABC. Then revenues were calculated by applying the percentage to the total revenue of each transaction. So for the direct sales, for the direct and the indirect sales, we accounted for the commissions paid to partners separately. So for the direct sales, we got for the total revenue in our calculations, we got like 36,000, 566, 500,000, 666,595 naira. Then for the indirects, we got 15 million. So the total for both the indirect and the direct sales, we got 51,753. Then for the unlimited, for the service plan, for the unlimited and for the unlimited 50, we got 20 million for the sum of total revenue. And for the unlimited 100, we got 10 million for the sum of total revenue. So the service category, the sum of the Azyten net revenue margin was, by our calculation, it was 39%. So we had challenges because I think a lot of people in my group were a little busy, but due to we followed the steps in the video, so some of us, it was a little bit difficult for us and a little confusing. But our team lead Abdullahi helped to be
That
able
is
to.
not a that is not a challenge, but you can continue. But that is not a challenge. I'm aware that a lot of you guys are not very, very good with Power Query, and that is fine, but that is not a challenge. It's not the only way to solve that problem. I did the video based on what I think is group 1. What do we do with group 1 that is just coming? Ebenezer, I saw you just entered not too long ago. You are interrupting our meeting. So I understand that not everybody know how to use Power Query, and that is fine. why I chose Power Query is a preference from me. You don't have to use Power Query. I think who is Obaji? Uh, where is Obaji? Are you in the
Yeah,
meeting?
I'm here, sir. Yes, I am.
I think you
Okereke.
started using formulas, right?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Then while we
So,
had the meeting with you, you advised we go to Power Query.
but they started using normal Excel formulas, and they were doing
Yes,
just fine.
but
So, Jacinta, while I understand that it was a challenge for you, that is not a challenge that. So, if you are presenting to your boss, you say, I faced this challenge while trying to do this because I didn't know how to use a particular tool, or, that's not really a challenge. I'm talking about challenges that you encountered. Like, what are the challenges you encountered? Like, okay, was saying there was a gap in the sales in the service plan pricing. That is a challenge, and he told us how he mitigated that challenge. He wrote in Power Query something that will factor out that challenge, and he was able to do that. The second challenge he mentioned, if I heard him correctly, was the sales channel, the direct and indirect. He found out that some amount were not, there was missing, so there was null values, if I heard him correctly, and some that was supposed to be direct were actually indirect. So there was some discrepancy in the sales channel. Those are challenges. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So continue. If you understand, then continue.
Okay.
Your presentation is fine so far because you've done a breakdown, but until this challenge, but continue. What are the
All right.
challenges you faced and how did you resolve? Because if you tell me that now, ask how did you resolve it?
Okay, I take back my
Because
words then.
if you say somebody had a child, you had people are busy. Are you going to? Is there a resolution for being busy? You can't take them from being busy now. Or somebody doesn't know how to use a tool. You are maybe as somebody didn't know how to use a tool, you taught them how to use it. Muchala, what do you want to say? You are just coming. You came literally like some 10-15 minutes ago. What do you want to say? I can see your hand. Mutala Ahmad, I can see your hand raised up. What do you want to say? Jacinta, please continue.
Okay. So, based on our findings, we need to focus on the growing of unlimited 100, possibly maybe through target promotions, and we have to support local partners with better training or incentive to improve indirect sales. So
Okay.
regularly the price to stay competitive, especially potential competitors entering the markets. So
So that's your insight. A
yeah.
pretty interesting insight. Why unlimited 100? What did you notice with unlimited 100?
Unlimited 100 has like less sum of total, less revenue. So the sum of
Okay,
total
good.
revenue, one the highest was unlimited 50. So to be able to
Because
go,
it's cheap.
huh?
I say because it's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's cheap. It's data now. It's because it's cheap.
Yes,
It's
sir.
the cheapest. Yeah. So it's normal that people will go for what is cheap. So you are saying
Yes.
that we should look for ways to grow other products, specifically unlimited 100. Okay.
Yeah.
Local partners, we should support them with trainings and incentives. Okay, that's interesting. What else? What are your learnings? What did you learn?
Okay. I learned
You, I'm talking
huh?
as you as a group. What did you guys learn? Or what did you learn? Don't worry, it's fine. What did you learn?
Okay, what did we learned that through, I'm sorry, but
No problem. We'll give you some few minutes to, although you are late by some few minutes, but we'll still give you some few minutes to, what did you learn? A minute to conjure up words.
okay. We learned that through the revenue breakdown by channels, how to break down by channels and protect product category, the breaking down, the revenue share calculations, and how to get the profits summary and sale, and the performance of through our workings, the performance by product of the sales.
So what personally, what did you learn?
So
We are
so
listening.
this financial model really provided us a clear picture of the revenue profitability and the growth area, and it also allows us to make data-driven decisions for improving the performance and maybe the sustainability of the product.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Before we go to the next, it's a very wonderful presentation in terms of eloquency and in terms of insight. Thank you very much, Jacinda. Group
You're
4.
welcome. Thank you, sir.
You spent 10 minutes. Before we continue, Murtala Ahmad has been raising his hand. You came late. You are raising up your hands. What do you want? How can we help you?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Let me start it this way. I belong to Group 7. Unfortunately, my group didn't make a submission this week on time, and I want to share my learning experience, my learning journal for the week. My experiences in the group and the disappointment virtually every member of the group got to feel. I would like to say our the team lead, is doing a lot to coordinate the group, but we all got to realize that until we learn to take responsibility and we learn to be timely in coordinating the team, and the team lead should also learn to appoint responsibility to every team member, so that we can identify where our failures are, so that we can work together to improve the strength of every team member. Because I understand that the purpose of this rare privilege we are enjoying in this internship is to strengthen our skills in data analytics, to build teamwork in us, and to also help us learn project management skills. That's the way I look at it. We are not only doing analytics, we are assigned projects, and we are supposed to distribute these projects to team members, and the team lead should act as a project manager and assign portions of the project to team members. So we have actually shared this experience, and we have all learned from this. It's a big disappointment. Many millions of youth in Nigeria are looking for this privilege, but we are fortunate to have it. Unfortunately, maybe because we lack such teamwork skills and project management skills, we are taking it for granted. So I'm actually presenting this case as a form of apology on behalf of the whole group. And I'm sure I'm talking from the same page with other team members. And going forward, we have taken steps to improve our performance. And we are giving our assurances that such a disappointment would not repeat itself during the period of the 6-month internship. We sincerely appreciate the organizers, the Azyten management, and the privilege given to us. We can pay back, and we hope that we are going to share our experiences with the world around us, so that the impact of Azyten will go beyond this internship, will impact everyone that we meet in our life. And that is what I have for today's meeting, sir. And thank you for your audience.
Thank you very much. Somebody from Group 5, I don't know if you have any response to this. I think I had a meeting with Group 5. And what is it I said regarding the internship as well as the students in general in terms of your participation? Who can help me with that? I don't know if Awa is around and Rukaya is around. What is it if you remember correctly, what is it I said with regards to the internship as well as its impact on individual persons or individual interns and in terms of participation? Can you remember so you can help us tell everybody now
Yes.
that you guys are?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hawa Bombale from Group 5. You said this internship is actually project based, and if you learn that we shouldn't wait for any team member to participate. If we can do it, we are doing it for ourselves, so that we'll be able to gain knowledge. So if anybody is not interested, that is his business. But the main thing is for you to get more knowledge. We shouldn't wait for any member to help us. There is nobody that is going to help us. We need to help ourselves. So maybe after submitting also you can report other team members, but the main thing is for you to get the knowledge to do it, because nobody is, you are doing it for yourself. And yeah. Sorry, I'm
So
talking too
oh,
fast.
no problem. Rukaya, are you around? Can you add to what Hawa has said from group 5? Is that the only thing I said? Is she on the group? Sorry, the reason why I actually know them by name is because they are actually participating. They are the two female in group 5 that are actually participating um, very much. Imagine female leading their team. That's very interesting stuff. And they took charge. It's not like they were appointed, they actually took charge. Okay, so I don't think Rukaya is on the group. Most likely she's having network issues. And I think I got to speak with Rukaya. Rukaya is a pharmacist, a practicing pharmacist. And I keep wondering why she has the time of day to and her interest in data analytics. And she sincerely wants to learn it, which is why she's a little bit patient. And it's unlike women to be very patient with team members, really. But it just shows spirit and doggedness towards wanting to know these things. I would like to add to what Hawa said that, frankly, again, I really don't know any of you guys. I don't know any of you guys. Most likely, after this internship, we might not see each other. We might be thriving better, and it's not necessary that the internship will impact you now. Maybe some other internship or some other real life experience would impact and will impact you positively. We never can tell. So it's not going to help me if you are, it's neither going to help me gain or lose if you are not serious with the internship, frankly. In other words, I said I have nothing to gain from your learning, whether you learn or you don't learn, really. And so it's left for you. As for me, I have gained what I've gained where I've gained it. Me personally, a lot of times when I go to organizations, and you meet this everywhere you go, some people would do as if they are working and they are not working. In the reality of it, they are not working. They are pretending as if they are working, but they are not. It will now have to, because you don't want to look bad and you don't want your team members to look bad, you will now have to take the mantle of trying to solve that particular problem. Remember that the end game is to solve problem. Complaints will not solve problem. Oh, they didn't do it well. It's not going to solve problem. More than half of the interns here are working. Is that not? More than half
That's
of the
it.
interns here, more than half of the interns here are working. You know how it is in the work in the workplace. A lot of people are not cooperative, and yet you still have to come up with a way to, because complaint will not solve problems. Do you understand? This person is not doing something well. It's not going to solve any problem. You are just complaining to air, and you are not solving anything. So my advice to any of you, if you care to listen, is complain less, solve problem more, or at least if you are complaining, be solving the problem. You cannot complain and not move. Not moving is not an option. You have to move. You stay in one place and you are complaining, it's not going to help anybody. Muchala, do you want to say anything? I see that you've unmuted your mic. Okay, good. So that's my 2 cents for anybody who would care to listen. So we have group 5. Who is presenting for group 5? Rukaya is not around. Group 1 wants to present. Please, Ebenezer, I'm listening. You have 5 minutes. I've even crossed you guys out of the people that are
What
going
of
to
group
be.
3, sir?
Oh, I forgot about you. Please present, Denike. Sorry. Sorry, many apologies. I forgot about you.
No problem, sir.
But you
Yeah.
can't forget us.
Okay, okay. No problem. Sorry.
All right, sir. Can you ask my screen?
We can see your screen.
Okay.
You are presenting by 11:56. You have 5 minutes. So
right,
what you
sir.
are going to tell us is the tools you use, your methodology, what you learned. And Jacinta went further and gave us insight. So interesting.
Okay. We were given 5 statements of accounts. We use Power BI to append the statement of accounts. I won't be able to.
Did you say Power BI?
Sorry, Power Query.
Okay, good.
Use Power Query to append the statement.
Please, sir, we can see your screen.
I can see her screen. Maybe your network is having issues. Please.
So after we appended everything, we gather everything to be full statement. This is the full statement. However, we continue doing the rest work using a Excel function, Excel formula rather. We did use Power Query to get all our calculations. So from the full statement account, we remove the column for allocation and that balance column. So we have this working statement. We target working statement. That's the one we used for your analysis, our pivot tables and the summary. So,
okay, good.
This is our calculation. We have all this one from the statement of account. So we distributed the statement of account to service plan using the amount paid. And if you remember, we were given another sheet, service sheet. So we use that amount to match this amount. The figures we use it to match this amount to give for the service plan. We left this one here so that you can be able to see how we got about the service plan calculated. This is the formula we use. So we did copy and paste as follow to this other I'm sorry, to this service plan account. So we got the revenue. Now from the service plan, by the time we distributed everything to the unlimited 50, unlimited 300, we have these products represented. And we put recurrent to those ones that are recurrent. The ones that do not have anything tagged with it are the non-recurrent. The one we put no logistics are on the one that are indirect sheet that do not have installation costs. Okay. So we put no logistics to identify them. However, we discovered that by the time we are grouping this, we make use of the amount and the dates. So we made everything to fall. You know, some of them fall between 2022 and September 2023, some between October and March, and some greater than March 2024. So that's how we group them. So when we grouped everything, we still discover that some amount of money were not directly related to this service plan, whether by amount or whether by date. So this one, like IP, this one, like let me show us this. I want to show us this one. I put not available. We will see that they are the subscription type are logistics, equipment, IP services, orders. They are not related to non-recurrent, recurrent. However, we have some that have non-recurrent and recurrent, but by looking at the amount and the date, they do not fit into any service plan. So we tag them as orders. So when we look at these orders, we will see that they are order. The subscription
They are
type are
supposed to be
recurrent.
4.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can listen. Oh, okay. I can hear you.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
all these other recurrent, but by looking at their values, though these 35,000, they are not falling, they did not fall in between. The 35,000 that are recurrent should be 2,000 and greater than April 2004. So we group this one to be orders, because we couldn't allocate any service plan for them. Now we calculated the total revenue. This our total revenue. We have removed the installation cost from them. So the total revenue for any of all these products is 75,000 naira, while the installation cost, if you add this one together, is going to be the same with amount, which is 110,000. That's how we did. Okay. Now for the one that service plan that we put not available, we put revenue not available for them as well, and the service plan that we count as orders, we put not available for them as well, because we don't want them to add to the revenue generated, since we cannot ascertain that they are part of the subscription really that fall between the dates. I know that's a pitfall. We don't really know how to go about that. Now we calculated the percentage share from the sheet given to us. We have a guide. ABC we collect 65%. Why? And this is their revenue. Then Azyten we collect 35%, and this is their revenue. We use this table to generate the pivot tables. So from our pivot table, we see the total revenue outside the installation cost is 42,426 naira, while the Azyten has 14 million, the ABC had 27 million. So from the total revenue, percentage of the one given to Azyten is 34%, and we have, I don't know, maybe it has been deleted, but we have another one for ABC revenue. We have a certain percentage. Then the total installation cost is 4,830,000 naira. So we group this service plan by channels. So we discovered that the unlimited 50, which is recurrent, has the highest subscription, which is total 323, followed by, we group this one from the largest to the lowest. The unlimited 100, 160, so also like that. But the subscription, the amount that is not attached to any of these service plan is 124, 138. Then the others that are recurrent and not, we couldn't group them, they are just 24. Then we group them revenue per year per company. So this is transaction date 2022 Q2. That from the date we have on the account, on the data, we just have second quarter. The date started from second quarter, that was May 2022. Then the last date was in between, I think August 2024. So we didn't have the fourth quarter of 2024 represented. And this is the sum of the revenue generated by the company, both of the Azyten revenue and ABC revenue. So we went further to group service plan by year. We have 2022, we have 2023, we have 2024, and we have clicked down. We can look at it in quarters. The quarter two, the one that are subscribed in quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, so on like that. So that's how we have the service plan grouped. Then from the table we see that some the channels have indirect and indirect channels. So the sales by channels, direct channels have 574 sales, indirect 337. However, even though indirect has more sales, but they generated more revenue. Then we service plan by ABC. The way the ABC generated their revenue or the service plan. So we now have the financial position, the summary. This is the summary. I don't know if you can all see it. So we came about the net revenue after revenue sharing. We major on the Azyten financial position as given from the question. So the total revenue is 42 million. Azyten revenue 14 million, which is 34%. ABC revenue 27 million, which is 66%. So this split indicates that Azyten earning from the partnership contributes a significant amount, but less than half of the total revenue generated. The total installation cost is this. Then go to key metrics for Azyten financial health and potential plan. We come about this, and we discover the revenue is almost split. It's almost the same with direct and indirect channels, though direct sales generate more transaction. This suggests that while indirect channels yield higher per se, direct sales are more consistent in volume. Then we have top performing service plan. The one that perform well is unlimited 50, which is recurrent, and unlimited 300. The service plan by year, we have more of transaction 2000 in the highest transaction in 2023, while the lowest is just in 2024. And this is our summary because of time. This is the sustainability with profitability and top performing channels. In conclusion, Azyten financial position is strong, but the proactive approach to address declining revenue in 2024 will be crucial for sustained growth. So actually the project exposed us to financial modeling. Personally, this is my first time of having financial issues. Me, I'm a pure science student, so I hate accounting. But by the time we saw this, we know that this is one of the things we have to do with. So it introduces us to financial modeling. But going by these insights, well, I know the insights came from our table. So going by these insights is like informing the clients what and what to do for their business to be sustained. So it exposes us to providing solution to real life challenges, especially about business. So our challenge is all of us, we are like beginners, and we are trying to put up together. We believe
That is not a challenge. I said that earlier.
okay, it's not a challenge. Okay, let me say
It's
one
not a
of our pitfalls.
challenge. Okay, good. That's
One
a
of our
very
pitfalls
weighty.
is we are all beginners. We are just trying to learn. I personally we have it in plan to put this Excel formula on Power Query. So see how it will come out. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, not knowing your being new to the use of Excel or being a science student is not a challenge, please. At least it's not a challenge. You can stop sharing your screen now. It's not a challenge that Azyten or any company you are doing this financial position for financial modeling for would care about. Does that make sense? So group 5 would not be presenting. They just sent me a message. They present. Who is Rukaya? Where is Rukaya? Is she around? So group 7, please. Are you ready?
Oh, good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
Someone from the group has just tender an apology on our behalf, and that's what I intend to do because we're able to like.
John Emeka, you did not just introduce yourself only for you to come and repeat the same thing he did. Let's
No,
assume you did not submit. At least you did something, I assume. So present what you did.
I was not able to complete it, sir. So I didn't do much.
What did you do? Tell us what you did.
Okay.
You did
Well,
well. I think your, let me even see. I think you guys were one of the, let me see the messages I sent earlier. You guys you did presentation for the last project, right? Because I can remember you very well. Were you not the one that did presentation for your group?
No, it was our group leader that did a presentation.
Who was the group leader?
Mr. Gowon Shedrack.
Where is Gowon Shedrack? Oh, that's interesting. So what exactly do you want to tell us? Let's assume that you don't even have a presentation. What exactly would you want to tell us from at least learning? You cannot just come and apologize and go. What did you learn?
Okay, what I learned in this project too was how to extract merge files in Power Query and also the Power Query formulas that was shared in the video, in the YouTube videos. So, but we're just unfortunate that we're not able to like complete our project as a group and submit due to some constraints as we have
What are the constraints?
For me, I didn't quite understand the project objective well enough. I had to struggle search online, but then I was not able to like fully grasp the project. So that was why I wasn't able to do much on my own end. I only relied on the video that was shared, which wasn't enough for me to actually complete the project.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
I said I didn't quite understand the object, like understand the project, like what exactly we were supposed to do. I searched online, did some findings, but then I was not able to fully grasp what we're actually supposed to do, understand the data that was sent to us. That was why I wasn't able to do much on my own end personally.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you did not understand, why didn't you ask question?
Was I supposed to ask? I didn't know that we can ask question on the group and get a response from you.
Please, group guys, answer him. Oh. Who is going to answer him on my behalf?
Yeah, we were asked to ask questions. Even after posting this thing, he will always tell us if you have any challenges, you can ask questions.
Mr. John.
There was a question I asked, and it's like you didn't respond to the question on our group chat.
And you did not. You
So
sent me a personal message, or you sent on the group chat?
No, I sent one on our group chat regarding the data set or something like that. I can't remember what I sent on the group chat, and there was no response. So I just feel that maybe we had to sort out everything on our own end.
That's
It was
interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. what are the learnings so far? You said you learned how to use Power Query. What else?
Formulas, append different queries as one. Because I never knew that you can use Power Query to append different spreadsheets or to connect a spreadsheet from Google Sheets directly. So those were some of the key takeaways that I had from this particular project.
That was interesting. Group 1, how far? You guys ready?
Yes, sir. We are ready, sir.
Oh yeah. Oh, Ebenezer, present your
Okay.
case.
Okay. Let me share my screen.
You have 5 minutes. Oh.
Okay, okay, sir. Can you see my screen now?
We can see your screen.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So let me start by apologizing for joining late. I had an emergency I have to attend to this morning. I tender our apologies as a group. So saying that our project 2, which is basically on the financial modeling, was sent to us, and immediately we start working on it as a group. And no, I will not talk much about what importing the data, because I'm very sure most of us will have known that by now. So I'm just going to talk about the step we did and the tools we use. So before Sir Shiko drop the video on using Power Query, so as a group, we've started working on this with Excel functions and formula. Though I personally really learned a lot from the video, and I'm replicating this project again using a Power Query presently. But what we did was using a Excel formula. So taking a look at the data set that was sent. So we focus on the amount, the channel, and the subscription type. Then for the project instruction, that the tariff was reviewed 2 times. So we use that information in this direct table and indirect table. We use it to replicate another table where we have everything. This is the table we replicated. So we have all the service plan, the different amount, then their channel, their subscription type, then the pricing period. So we created another column called pricing period, depending on when the tariff was reviewed. So we have 2022 to September 23, we have October 23 to March 24, and we have April 24 to date. So we use this information to merge this amount here. We use this formation to merge this amount to get our pricing period. So we use a if formula. So we use if and formula to use that information to get our pricing period. So each of the transactions now have a pricing period depending on their date, their channel, and their subscription type. So using the pricing period, we created another column where we merge this information using pricing period to get our products. So using this table, so we use a merge function, and we use a complex merge function and a match function, and we combine it with a if error function to get all the different plan that was said, taking note of the channel, their subscription type, and their pricing period. So we use merge and match function to merge it with this table to return this transaction type for each of the transaction. So using that, we discovered that there are some transactions that doesn't fall, that are direct and indirect, but it doesn't fall within any of the products. So we created another channel to take another column, to take care of that. So in this column now, we now have the different um plan that was sold, and we have other services like equipment, IP services, logistics, and we have another one called other internet plan. So this other internet plan, the amount doesn't fall within the range of the time period and the channel. So we just named it as a other internet plan. So that's that about that. Then we now did another column for installation cost. So we took note from this table that it's only non-recurrent direct that pay the installation cost, only non-recurrent direct. So we also created a complex if function to take care of that. That is if and F2, and F2 is that's the channel, and I2. So if they are direct and non-recurrent, to return this C12 in this direct data set, that is to return this 35,000 here. So in this column now, we now have only direct and direct non-recurrent that pay the installation cost. So we have that in this column. So we also have another column for internet revenue only. So this internet revenue only, so we deduct the installation cost from the amount for where they are applicable. So we did a complex if function to combining with all function to do that. So that is if a product is unlimited 50, that is different products. So to return the amount, so and to deduct it, to deduct this 35,000 naira from the amount, so to return this. So this is the revenue generated from internet revenue only. So we went further by creating another two column that so one thing we did, we just make this up. I made this up myself. So because there's no sharing formula for those that we tag as other internet plans, so I just did an average of all the other one that was stated from unlimited 50 to cap 500. So the average is 68%. So for ABC, so we did their percentage share at 68%, which is the average of every other internet plan. And for Azyten too, we did their percentage share as 32%, which is an average of other internet plan as share for Azyten. So we use a VLOOKUP. So to do that, we use VLOOKUP to get the different percentage share. So we use VLOOKUP function to get that. So that is if products. So if the product, I mean the product and yes, the product. So and the channel. So to get their percentage, each of them have a percentage share. So and I discovered that both for direct and indirect, we have the same percentage share. So we now went further to use this percentage share to calculate their revenue just by multiplying this internet service revenue and their different percentage share that we've gotten from here. So with that, we're able to get ABC revenue and Azyten revenue. So using this table, we did a little pivot analysis here. We did a little pivot analysis. The total revenue, that is this total revenue, that is total revenue from internet service, from other services, and from installation costs as a 53.4 million, 53.1 million, I mean. Then internet service revenue, that's the revenue from internet service only, at 46.8 million. Then revenue from other services like IP services and what they like at 3.5 million. Then total installation cost at 2.6 million. Then this is the share for internet service only for both ABC and Azyten. We have that here. So we did all this using the pivot table. So we went ahead by creating a little dashboard for this project. So in this dashboard now, we can see that total revenue stand at 53.1 million. Then this is revenue generated from so these are just KPIs that we're able to derive based on this based on the ask and based on the data set that was given to us. So internet service revenue only at service at 3.5, and we put a slicer here in case probably Azyten on ABC want to drill down by year. So if you drill it down by 2022, so the total revenue from 2022 now is at 22 million, and the total products sold in 2022 stand at 237 products sold. So we also did total revenue by sales channel. So the direct and indirect sales channel. So these are total revenue. So for we have 24.2 million, and for direct we have 28 million. Then we have the sales trend there, the monthly sales trend there. So this for internet service only. So we took out other services like the IP services, we took it out from this. So this is the revenue trend. Cover that the best performing month is November 2022. We have 5.7 million there. So top performing product by number of sales. So unlimited 50 is the top performing product, and that is understandable because I think it's the cheapest. So we have 370 products sold there, while the least performing product is the most expensive. That is CAP 500. We have just 5 products sold there. So we also did internet service revenue by region. So by region, so how much are we making per region? So which region is the best region in terms of revenue? So we have the North Central as the best region, 24 million naira revenue in total from internet service only, and we have a escort are just giving us 3 million only. So we also went ahead to do this by state. So the company performance state in case when they want to do campaign or they want to give discount so that they can know the state to focus on. So F 24 million, and the worst performing state in Niger State. I'm not sure there's any product sold in a Niger State. So we also have internet service revenue by subscription type. So both recurrent and non-recurrent. So for 40.5%, which is around 90 million, while recurrent account for 59.8 million. So we also look at other revenue from other internet service. So IP services, we have 1.92 million, and others, we have just 0.10 million. So so this dashboard is actually interactive, so we can interact with it. So and we also did a little summary. So in the summary we submitted, we attached just a still picture of the dashboard, and so we also did a little analysis which I've explained earlier. So for total revenue, we have 53.1 million. So I'm breaking it down. So from internet service revenue, which is of course the largest, we have 46.8 million. Then for other services like the IP services, we have a 3.5 million. Then revenue from installation costs, we have 2.6 million. So ABC and Azyten revenue analysis. So revenue share. So ABC revenue share 1 million, while Azyten is 15.7 million. So we also did internet service revenue analysis. So in 2022, we have 80.3 million. 2022, we have 31.3 million. And of course, 2024, up to September, we have just 7.1 million. So, and we can see that we are performing poorly. The companies are performing poorly in the 2024 due to some factors that the data set probably is not giving us. Then monthly revenue trend. So highest monthly revenue trend, which I mentioned earlier when I was on the dashboard, we have 5.7 million. That is November 2022. And the poorest month is September 2024, which is just 70,000 naira. So product analysis. So total purchases is 773 products sold. And of course, unlimited 50, 370 because it's the cheapest. So white cap 500, we have just 5 products sold there. Then revenue by product. So this one is in terms of popularity. That's the number of products sold. So by revenue, unlimited 50 is also the largest, 12.4 million. White cap 200 is the lowest. That is 590,000. So, and the insight from there is that in both in terms of popularity and in terms of revenue, it's actually the best product. So in the case the company wants to do any campaign or they want to give any discount or they want to focus on some customers that are performing very well, they should actually focus on customers that are from unlimited 50. So revenue analysis by region. So North Central, which I've mentioned earlier, 23.9 million, and the headquarters is performing poorly, 3.3 million. So the observation there is that North Central contribute the highest, while headquarters contributed the lowest. So by state, FCT is the best
You
performing
have
state.
1 minute, so you can discuss.
Okay. So by state, FCT is the best performing state, while Borno is the least performing state. So we also have this here for revenue from other products there. So the key observation from this project is that the majority of the revenue comes from FCT and North Central region. So the company should actually focus more on that in terms of a campaign. While states and regions that are not performing poorly, probably the company can give them discounts or do some campaign or promo to be able to attract customers from there. And the major concern about this data set that the story I got from it is that 2024, though 2024 has not ended, but we are performing poorly in 2024, like both in terms of revenue and in terms of the number of products sold. Why? High recurring revenue. So the dominance of recurrent subscription. So recurrent subscription are actually very dominant. So so this is that. So and what we learn from this project, majorly we learn about financial modeling. So how to make sense of a raw data given. And personally, I learned how to use Power Query. Like I said, I'm more leaned toward using a function, Excel function, and that's why we started with this. But from the video she could drop, so we also learn how to use a Power Query, and we also combine some other tools with it, like Power BI, to be able to do the dashboard, and we also did a little reporting. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. Even though you came late, you actually very nice presentation. I think I enjoyed specifically Jacinta Adenike and your presentation.
Thanks so much.
So we'll give 5 minutes for any of the team members to make comments of their learning. Again, I'm not interested in complaints. What are your learnings? What do you learn? What between the last project and this project have you actually improved as a data analyst? 5 minutes, whoever wants to go, you have. I'm not saying I'm giving you 5 minutes to talk. I'm giving everybody 5 minutes, maximum 10 minutes to talk. Then we will now have another 5 minutes or 10 minutes to ask about project 3. So who wants to go? What have you improved? Who wants to go? Mr. Beniza, you just speak briefly. If you have improved in terms of your skill set, as the internship really helped you, and in what way?
Okay. So I personally, I've improved since the beginning of this internship. This is just a project 2, and I'm really looking forward to more projects. I've gone through the project 2, and it's very, very interesting. So, and the major thing I've gained from this program is actually working, simulating a real work scenario, because all the projects that have been given to us, they are like, especially this project 2 is like a real work scenario where you are working with a company. Because when I started learning data analysis, I've been thinking, okay, how can I apply this, all these functions we are learning, all these formulas we are learning, how can we apply it in a real work scenario? So the internship is actually simulating a real work scenario, and I'm learning that. And secondly, the major thing I've learned from this program is actually how to or in case you are in a group or you're in a team and there's a project, you have a deadline. So, and if you see that probably the team is lacking, so if you have the capacity to take on the responsibility to do it for the team, so that your team will not lag behind, so that you'll be able to meet up with the deadline. So I also learned that, and I'm developing that. Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please briefly. What
Good
have you
afternoon.
as it really, don't speak English, or I want to know if there's an impact. I don't personally, I don't like too much English. If it has an impact, how?
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. So the project so far has actually given me an opportunity to learn, to be able to know how to meet deadlines in the real world, and then also to know how to relate with people. That in a team, you actually have diverse characters and the way people behave, but the ability to manage yourself and manage them. Thank you.
Who wants to go next? I assume nobody wants to go next. So who wants to who has questions regarding the project 3? If you have questions regarding project 3, now is the time for you to ask.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma.
From the project area, I went through it. I know we are to use MySQL. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to plead if you will be dropping guide for us as well. Because that
Sorry?
MySQL. I don't know if you'll be dropping some guide for us too.
No, I will not. This is, like I mentioned, very easy to do. Unless you want to ask, you have a question you want to ask me that I can respond to.
What if you don't know MySQL before?
Eh? Please, Mrs. Adenike, please, I would not want to take that.
Okay.
I witnessed wait in SQL, which SQL did they taught us again? I'm assuming they taught us SQL.
MySQL.
So which one is it? You don't know? Please, you know.
When they were teaching us, it was serious. So we were like,
That is not a
pass and
problem
go.
that should concern me. And that is why you that know why you came there. You are still doing pass and go. No, now.
This one. We'll find solution.
Do you know that anyways, I'm not going to I'll wait until the middle of this particular project before I will tell you what I want to tell you. But
okay.
It will just show how observant you all are. Elizabeth was raising up her hands. What do you want to say?
Yes, I wanted to say, sorry, good afternoon. I
Good
wanted to
afternoon.
say that concerning this, like we're not taught, but then most of us don't understand my SQL. Know about, I know how to import, I know how to create tables, but you see any other thing like trying to answer questions using my SQL? No, I don't even know anything concerning that.
And this will give you an opportunity to know that.
Well, maybe. No problem.
You're from what group again?
I'm from group 2.
Group 2. It will give you an opportunity to know that. And please, if we should advisably change team leads, please, so that some other person can do it. If you don't change team lead, I will assign one for you. I'm talking about all the groups. Change team leads. Who has a question regards project 2?
I have a question, or sir.
I'm
Can I go
listening.
ahead? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So, like going through the project yesterday, so I understand that we'll be creating different tables from the data set, and my major issue with MySQL that I'll be finding difficult is how to create a relationship. So I don't know if you can just in 1 minute.
They didn't teach you how to create relationship.
No, I know how to create relationship, but scenario where I will need to use one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one. So that is the little bit I'm having challenges with, like, because like I said earlier, we were scenarios. So like, what instance do I need to use one-to-one? What instance do I use to use one-to-many? And what instance do I use to use many-to-one? So that's the bit I'll be having a problem with
Do you
personally.
understand what one-to-one means?
Yes, I understand one-to-one mean.
Explain one-to-one, one-to-many. What does that mean?
Okay, so one-to-one relationship is probably you want to create a relationship between two tables. For example, if sales, no, a table for procurement now that has the amount, and you also have another table that contains unique products like that of the procurement. So you use a one-to-one relationship. So, but if you have another table that you want to create a relationship with that procurement table, for example, sales, you know that in the procurement table now you have for a product, that if you have a book as a product in procurement now, so it is just one in that table. But if you're in sales, you are going to have that book a lot, because a lot of customers are going to be coming in to buy that books. So if you want to, with my understanding, so I think that is when you use one to many. I don't know if I'm right actually.
What is the other name for one-to-one relationship? What's the other name for one-to-many relationship? There's a name for it?
Oh, I don't think I know that.
And then you don't know what you are talking about now. One-to-one relationship is called the primary key. Do you know what the primary key is?
Yes, I know what a primary key is.
What's a primary key?
So a primary key is anything in a table that uniquely identifies all the rows in that table.
That is what they call a one-to-one relationship. It's a key that you use to identify information that can only belong to that particular key. That's what they call one-to-one relationship. The other name for one-to-many relationship or many-to-one is called a foreign key.
Okay.
Now, do you know what a foreign key is?
Yeah, I have an idea of what a foreign key is. So a
Okay.
foreign key in a table is the column that reference another column in another table. So for example, if in a procurement table, like I gave example earlier, if we have the products as the primary key there because they are unique, so in the sales table is going to be a secondary key because it's going to be referencing that procurement table. So that is my little understanding of a foreign key.
Okay, so let me show you guys something. Can you guys see my screen quickly?
Yes, we can.
Mind you, I've done this project before. If you guys are very, very observant, you see it. But I'd rather just keep quiet and allow you. Have you guys gone through the data set?
Yes.
Good. So if do you guys understand that? A foreign key in one table is a primary key in another table. Who understand what I just said now?
I understand, but
You understand?
Yeah, I
A
understand.
foreign key in one table is a primary key in another table. For some weird reason, I'm offline, and which is weird.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, it's weird that I'm offline. So this is one of the data sets, right? You guys can see my screen, right?
Can you make your
yes, we can.
screen a little bit bold?
I use glass. So can you see it?
Yes, it's better like this.
So who can tell me in these two tables which one is foreign key, which one is primary key in the left and right?
In the right table, the student column, in the right table, the student column is the primary key.
That is interesting.
We can also, I think student number would be the best. That's the column E. It will be the best to use. But in the left table, admission number will be the primary key in the left table.
Who wants to try next?
Admission number. Admission number
this,
in the left is a foreign key. Why students is the why students is the primary key in the right table?
That's serious. Who wants to go next?
Okay, let me go next. For the right table, the primary. No, this is Muminat. Muminat.
Okay, continue. Okay.
For the right
Continue.
table, okay. For the right table, the admission number is the primary key. While
From the
for the
right.
left table,
No,
yes, for the
please, the table has name, student and student profile. So
okay,
which one are you talking about?
for the student table, the admission number is the primary key.
Uh-huh.
While for the student profile, the the 18 number is the primary, while the admission number is the foreign key there. That is the student is the foreign key for the student
Okay.
profile.
Do you guys understood what she said? She said in the student profile, student is foreign key, seat number is primary key, while for student table, admission number is primary key. Did you guys understand what she said?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good. So I said a foreign key, which is student, is a primary key in another table. In simple terms, that's what I'm trying to say. I sent out a link now on the message on the chat. Fill it up and fill it out quickly, and it's an attendance sheet. Do that. I'll give 5 minutes for it, and I'm going to lock that particular. I'm locking it right in like 5 minutes time. So do the attendance now, or fill in the attendance now.
Where did you drop it?
It's on the chat.
Okay.
I'm giving 5 minutes for it. So by, let's say 12:50, I'm going to lock it. This is how I lock this is how I lock forms. I'll just, there's a what call, there's a particular tool we use to lock forms. So these are I lock the form. So for in case any of you are interested in knowing how I lock forms. So Mr. Ebenezer, do you now understand what a foreign key and a primary key is?
Yes, I but how
So,
to apply it
no,
to
it's
create
a
a
very simple thing. So you can see when you create a table, student, for instance, admission number, you put the data type, then you set primary key, or you can say you set it as a primary key. Now in the student profile table, the admission number is there, the age, the address, the okay, there's no address, sorry please. Okay, the age, the gender, classroom. Oh, I think I was creating something else for this, but it's fine. Then I now said foreign key. The foreign key here is admission number. The reference table is the student table, then the column admission number. So you say foreign key. What do you want in this table to be foreign key? This is the admission number. Then your references will be the student table, then what column. Now, in this case, what I can do is, hold on, let me use this. Please mute your, whoever is unmuted, mute it. So I'll say drop student underscore profile, right? I want to drop this, and yeah, so in this case, admission number, age. What do we have next? We have gender, classroom, and seat number, right? So we have gender. Our gender is a variable character of 6. because female is the highest. Then we have what else? Classroom, right? So we'll say classroom. Then varchar, we'll just say maybe 4. Variable character of 4. Then the last one is seat number, right? We'll say seat underscore number, and we'll say it's what? Integer. Is that not? And what would this be? This will just be primary key. Do you understand? Oh, why the okay? So this is supposed to be comma. So now if I run it, let's see. Oh, so I've created it. I just need to refresh. So when I refresh and I click on this drop down, you can see my indexes. What are my triggers? Nothing. Foreign key. You can see my foreign key. If I double click on my foreign key, oh, sorry. I think if I right click on it, right click, no, sorry, I think I'm supposed to, oh yeah, hold on. Does this expand? It doesn't. Okay, it does. So click on here, foreign key. You can see what my foreign key admission number. You can see related table, student admission number to student profile. Then my indexes, you see primary key there. You can see it. My primary key is my admission number. My seat underscore number is my primary key. Then this is also an index, but in relation to a different table. Does that make sense? So this is how you set it, Mr. Ebenezer. Hello, am I making sense?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, so do you now understand how, who is raising up their hand? Balaji? Okay, I have 3 more minutes and I'll leave you guys.
Sorry, sir. I
Balaji?
clicked on the sir. I clicked on the link and I filled it. I submitted and I got it has been logged as the
Yes,
next
I gave
page.
5 minutes for it.
Yeah, I think I clicked it around 12:50. Yes, I'm very sure of that. And the message
Look
you
at
brought
it
was
now.
it has been logged.
So are you saying that I should? Okay, I'll leave it till 1 o'clock.
All right, thank you, sir.
Where did you drop the link? Because I can't find the link.
It's on the chat. It's on this particular chat.
I'm trying to log in it onto it. They're asking me for an ID. I don't know if it's from my end or not.
Look at it here. Somebody, please don't make any comments. Let me copy and paste it back there. Check the chat. Mr. Bolaji, you can refresh and try it again. Benita, do you want to say something?
No, sir.
Thank you,
Okay.
boss.
You're welcome. The person who was complaining that they are trying to, have they seen it?
I haven't. I'm trying to open the chat. The chat is not opening from my end.
Are you kidding me? What group are you?
Group 6.
Group 6. Who is in group 6 that have seen it? Who in this group is in group 6 that have seen the
From my phone, you have to click on the 3 dots to see chat. So maybe she's not seeing the chat and doesn't know where to check for the chat most likely.
Okay. Did you hear what she said? Okay.
Yes, I heard. I saw chats, people and share, and I clicked on the chats. It's taking me elsewhere, showing me Teams and all that. I should put in my email address and then.
No, it's not supposed to ask you for anything.
That's what.
That's weird. Send a message to me. Again, please, if you are not in this thing, please do not share this link to anybody. It will be on your own peril if you do.
So I should send
Yeah, just send a hi on the on your group so I can see you. I will just attach and send it to you. Anyways, I would be taking my leave now. If you guys have any concerns, and please let it be a genuine concern. Oh God, is it when I want to leave? That's when you are raising up your hands. Talk. Talk now. I'm listening.
Okay.
No, not you, Mrs. Adenike.
About our presentation and our project. You just say you enjoyed the presentation, but you didn't tell us whether there are some other things we have to do, whether